Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated conversation with the guy that owns JJTwiggs, and it is one of the most incredible soccer coaches in the St. Louis area. You call him this and that, I call him Big Vader. Mike Gauvain, ladies and gentlemen. Did I get the right name?
You did, Wales. Everything's good.
Thank
You're right
you.
on target.
Thank you.
I'm called a lot of things a lot of times. So whatever you want to call me to is just fine.
All right, man. But I have to tell you, you with the with the girls, the Summit, Rockwood Summit High School, they're on fire. And congratulations to you. I think you got some good news to report, don't you?
Yeah, for our Rockwood girls, I do. We had a district final last night at home versus Allen and his girls from John Burroughs, and we kind of eked out a 1-0 win. We scored off the corner early in the middle of the first half, and had to have our goalkeeper make a good save or two down the stretch, and got through it 1-0. So we won our district, and we're looking forward to playing the winner of the Melville Windsor district, which they complete their district on Monday on Labor Day. On Memorial Day, and then we'll host the winner of them. We'll host, actually, it's going to be Melville versus Festus, and we'll play the winner of that game on next Saturday.
Well, how about is the goalkeeper, was that the Lawler?
Yeah, it was Kate. Kate was in. We've got two quality girls.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Lily Edelman, who's going to continue her soccer career playing for Mr. Strange, Timmy Strange, who's I think this is going to be Timmy's last year at McKendree, and he's going to get a fine young female goalkeeper in Lily Edelman that plays for us at Summit as well. And then Kate Lawler, who is a junior, who had two prior sisters, Anna and Sarah, played Summit years back, and they both went on to college careers. And now Kate, as a junior, is already committed to Missouri State for the following year, and we've been very, very fortunate to have two wonderful goalkeepers and wonderful young ladies trying to keep the ball out of our net.
Yeah, and you got an angel up in heaven, Steve Major, looking down and giving a.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Steve was an integral part of Summit Soccer for a long period of time, and he convinced me, or I shouldn't even say convinced, he bugged the heck out of me to come over and help at school years and years ago. And me and Steve grew up together.
Hey, is that right?
He was a heck of a player, man. And his brother George, with all the officiating and what he's contributed to soccer, and certainly what Steve contributed to soccer. It's a little South Side heritage there.
Oh yeah.
Couple of Bayless guys. I was a St. Mary's guy, and South Side. We had a lot of fun back in the day and had a lot of good players.
Yeah, he had some rock and roll history. That band, Julia.
Yeah, actually, Steve knew the guys from Pavlov's Dog.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Who got a lot of airtime back in the day and have a couple of great songs. And that song that you just mentioned was named after Steve's daughter.
Wow.
And, so that's pretty cool. And for the ones who are older like me, if you listen to any kind of music or you listen to KC95, which I still do.
The
you
Pig.
heard a lot of Pavlov's Dog, and you heard the song Julia, and a bunch of others. And they were a pretty good local band that really made it. And it was great that they did that tribute, that song for Steve's daughter years and years ago.
Wow, that band, when they signed the contract, that was the highest money making signage at the time. They were number one.
Absolutely. They kind of broke ground for a lot of other people to follow, and boy, they were just fantastic. And if you're a little bit of a historian with the rock and roll like I am, they're right up there with a lot of the great bands, and they still are, you know. It's just awesome that Steve got to know those guys and got to hang around them a bit, and had quite an influence on them as they did on him. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, just so that you know that I know that you know, you're in the Whale Certified Hall of Affinity, Vader. Yeah, you are, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I could talk to you about music for a long, long time if you wanted to, because it's a important part of my day, and all the driving and the back and forth from Chaminade and the Summit and all the soccer. I enjoy my music. I still do, and I've got another guy that's with me at Chaminade, Coach Morgan, who's a bigger music man than I am. You know, so
man,
we'll
Mama's Pride. He was
Mama's Pride. He knew all. I
wonder if they wrote a song about him.
Yeah, I'll be riding around and I'll see a song come on that we haven't heard or I haven't heard in a long time, and I'll take a quick picture of it and send it to him, and Coach Morgan will go, "Oh yeah, one of the all-time best," and it's kind of fun, and I said, it's the music. I know how important it is to him, and it's important to me too, you know, and it's just one of those things that I've always liked, and I like my songs and I like my music.
Right. And one of the reasons I said it was that because you have now a whole catalog full of head coaches that are coaching in the boys and men, in the girls and boys soccer in this area, what you coached at your early years.
Yeah, there's just the girls, Sarah down at Oakville, Sarah Gunther, she played for us for JV Marine, and my teams back in the day, as did our Parkway West fine lady, Annie Whalen. She was
no relation.
Right, no relation, but she's done both of those ladies have been outstanding, and I think those schools Oakville and Parkway West are very fortunate to have them as their head coaches for their girls programs, and they do a tremendous job.
Indeed. So you gave us the layout of the Class 3, and every year you're going to get into the grind at the end of the year. There's you can't hide from this team or that team or whatever. You're right out there, and it must be really something listening to you coaching the girls to inform them, hey, I've been around here a while, and this is what you should look for because this is going to be happening. Is it?
Yeah, with coaching the boys as long as I have over at Chaminade, and now with the girls, this is 9 years over at Summit already, and
wow.
It's the same. You get geared up for the regular season, and then you take it a little bit higher, and you're a little more not that you're more totally focused on everything, but it's the playoffs, and you know that any game can keep your season going or can end your season. And so when you know who you're matched up against early in the year, you tend to focus on those teams a lot more than you maybe would, one of your big rivals, because you're not going to play them in a tournament, but you're going to play a John Burroughs or a Country Day, which we had in our district this year, along with Webster. We had, 4 of the top 7 or 8, 9 teams in Class 3. We were all stuck in District 2 together, and any 4 of us could have won that district, and unfortunately we came out on top. But we try to tend to watch those teams play more at the end of the season, and we didn't get a chance to play Burroughs or Country Day regular season. We did play Webster, who had Brennan's first year over at Webster. They had a great year, and he's going to do great things with the Webster girls. And like I said earlier, we're fortunate enough to get out of the district, but we've got a little, I've got a little experience with this kind of stuff, and sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, and we've been on the we've been on the end of sometimes some winning games that maybe we shouldn't have, and we've lost some games maybe we should have, but that's okay. That's the game, our kids compete hard, boys and girls, and we feel like we're prepared, and sometimes the other team is just a little bit better.
Yeah, but you never run from a tough schedule to get the girls ready. And I'm asking you what about this traveling that you guys do? You go to a lot of different places that a lot of teams don't do. Have you seen the benefit of team bonding and so forth, traveling to other places?
Yeah, we have. With the boys, we would try to go someplace every other year. Back in the day, we did a New York trip, which is tremendous. We went out to San Francisco a couple of years later. A couple of years after that, we did Albuquerque, New Mexico, which was a fantastic 4 days out in New Mexico, and then we did North Carolina. We got to go to Duke and the University of North Carolina and spend a day at each of those universities. And we've been, Milwaukee up to play Steve Lawrence with his guys at Marquette High School, University of Marquette High School. And, Peoria with Peoria Notre Dame. We've got a little good thing going with them, with the boys. They come to St. Louis this year to play ourselves. And the girls, we've done Milwaukee, and we've done Springfield, and we did, just Springfield again this year. And it was for Phil Hodge, who's a close friend of mine at Springfield Kickapoo. He invited us down for their little shootout, and we played 3 teams from the Springfield area, and it was a wonderful 3 days. And the kids were really happy because they got out of school on half a day Thursday and a full day Friday.
Baby, yeah. So, for people that don't know, you have it around. You are everywhere for everybody, every time. Is that you're in one of the highest high schools in America, Chaminade Preparatory Academy, and then you have. They're not a poor district, but they're a public school district, and Rockwood Summit. How about that, man? It is because it's just the game that, hey, no matter what, this is how the game's played.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been kind of lucky to fall in both of the schools that I'm at, and in between, I helped with Bill Dawes when he was the head coach at Viz. I helped a long, long time ago over at St. Joe when Steve Shad was the head coach at St. Joe. And I've been around the girls' game with JB Marine as well. I was their director of coaching for about 20 years, and we had some pretty dynamic, honestly, some phenomenal teams that won a national championship under 19 and under 16. We had some tremendous players on all those teams, and Chaminade's just been a total blessing for me to be there as long as I have, and being a Marianas kid from St. Mary's and falling into the Marianas situation and the Marianas beliefs at Chaminade for as long as I have. I've been blessed, that's for sure. And the game's still the game, though, Wales. You got to go out, you got to be able to receive the ball, and you got to make good decisions, and you got to be aware of what's going on around you. And sometimes some of the seasons you're a little bit better than others because your players are a little bit better, And it's never for a lack of effort for our kids. I expect them to work hard and do the best they can, and it's simple to say that, but if they do that, as coaches, I think we're all happy with them, and with whether we win or lose, if they give the effort, everything kind of falls into place.
Yeah, man. Soccer's kind of like life, man. You explain to live a good life, and you're a man among men, Mike Gauvain, and everybody that knows you feels the same way. They hoot you up and holler up. They'll stand up and applaud you, bro.
Well, thanks. You know, it's I truly preach to the kids to be, you know, good people. Hello, how are you? Thank you, appreciate you. You know, and to be good hosts, to be good guests when we travel, to be humble in victory and certainly humble in defeat. And um, you know, I really believe in all that stuff. And you need, you know, I like to play nice people that I know, uh, good, bad, or indifferent, because I know they're trying to teach their teams and their players some of the same values that I try to teach ours.
There you go. And I mean, man, you have traveled a long way with a lot of the same friends. I mean, you know,
Oh yeah, you know, I've still got some of my closest friends are from, you know, from St. Mary still, and from SIU Edwardsville. I'm still myself and Mike Twelman are still very close and hang out a little bit. We had the opportunity to go to see the Narinks and Koryezu game the other day. We met over there, and what an atmosphere they had there. And I told everybody that I talked to, all my friends and people that would listen to me, you need to get over to see one special player, because you never know when the season's going to end, and that's Maddie DiMaria. And the place was packed, and me and Swells had a great time. And the coolest thing about that, Wales, was there were people there that I knew. A lot of the people there that were older than me, and that's kind of hard to do now at 64. But they were all there for one reason, because they love the game and they wanted to see a good game, which they did, in two quality girls high school soccer teams, and a chance to see Maddie DiMaria play. You know, and when you get an opportunity to see tremendous players, no matter where they are, you need to go watch them. You know, and people ask me all the time, what's it take to be a good player, and this and that and the other thing. And my daughter's pretty good, and my son's pretty good, and I say, you want to go see good? You know, here's a kid you need to go watch as a female. You need to go watch her play, because she's special. That's a soccer player. And not that any of these other girls aren't, because
right.
we've got some wonderful, very technical, very intelligent soccer players in the area. Maddie's just a little bit different than everybody. Maybe not a little bit, a lot of it different.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why she's a national team player. But
Yeah.
to see the people at the game, the St. Louis soccer community that come to a girls' high school soccer game at Narinks Hall, and the atmosphere, the environment was incredible. That's what I want all of the kids that play high school soccer to feel, something like that at some point, to be a part of that.
Yes, I agree with everything you said. I pulled out the Northside Hoosier card. I had it on a phone. I tried to do a play-by-play, and then the time I would think is Eastern Standard Time, for God's sakes. I thought, you know, I mean, it was so brutal, but I mean, it is a complete different way, and it is so beautiful, the team, how they come together as one. You know,
Yeah, no doubt, and
yeah.
that's what you want to happen. You know, if you're
Yeah.
a coach, and going back to the trips, I mean, just those little things that the kids were together the whole time, and they start to appreciate. They don't know a lot of things about the younger kids, as the younger kids don't know a lot of things about the seniors, and so forth and so on. And you know, those are special times and special things that the kids get to do, and they'll remember that stuff. You know, there's no doubt about it. And we talk about it all the time with high school sports, you know, and when I see the players that have played for our schools and the colleges they've gone to and the national teams they've gone to, playing at the highest level in this country and abroad, they still remember their high school days, and they still talk about when they played CBC, or they played DeSmet, or they played Chaminade, or, you know, Summit played Narinks, and those kids, those memories are alive and well in all those former players' minds, and that's wonderful.
You know, I don't know nothing, you know, about pedigree, about horse thoroughbred racing, but this soccer community with Maddie's bloodline and with the coaches for both squads, I mean, there's a lot of pedigree. I guess if you live long enough, you
Yeah, there's a lot of royalty there, and that's words, you can only use that word for certain things, and Mindy, being Mike Sorber's wife, who's over in Narings now, and Maddie's mother and father, Sarah, who played for us with JB Marine and played at Loyola, and Demo, who, everybody who followed youth soccer and CBC and St. Louis U knows who Jeff DiMaria is. And his father Tom as well.
Oh yeah, man.
And Tom was a longtime coach at Rittner.
Is that a fact?
Tom was coach. Tom, and I didn't know that either.
Wow.
Until years and years ago. But Tom was soccer coach at Rittner High School, and boy oh boy, does Maddie have the traits of her father and her mother, and just a wonderful kid. But when you've got Sorber on one side and a DiMaria on the other side, and that's just not that. There's other games too that have mothers and fathers who played with and against each other at the high school level, collegiate level, and and everybody's always happy to see each other, and it's so cool to see all these people that I've been fortunate enough to be involved with at JB Marine and Scott Gallagher and certainly Chaminade and Summit to see now their children and some of the parents' grandchildren. It's just it's really, really cool to go to a game and to see somebody that we haven't seen in a long time, and their daughter, granddaughter, niece, nephew are playing, and it's like, and you recognize the names when you see the roster, and you're like, well, that has to be her brother, or that has to be his son, and usually the bloodlines and the game here in St. Louis, it carries on from generation to generation, that's for sure.
Well, I don't want to forget the Bursics and the Bonos. I mean, they got some pedigree.
Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Bursics, Mark, David, and Gary are my cousins. My mother.
Oh, cut it out.
And their mother, Aunt Shirley, are sisters, both deceased now. But we all grew up in St. Timothy's together, and Mark's my age, and David's my middle sister's age, and Gary's my oldest sister Linda's age, and we all grew up together over by Indian Hills subdivision in St. Timothy's Parish, and so I've been part of the Gauvain Bursick family and soccer master certainly, and when Uncle Emil and Aunt Shirley started the business back in the late 70s, and my uncle had a great vision, with soccer and to start that store, and what David did with it and Aunt Shirley did with it over all the years is people know Soccer Master, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so, wow, what a history that was, man. Forget about the goosebumps. I'm just more. Is there any more secrets you got?
Oh, I'm sure there's a few, but we don't, it's we're here to talk about whatever we want to talk about, certainly. And you brought up Thoroughbred Racing, and I'm a horse guy.
No way.
I love the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont, and
man, wasn't that
all
something?
the horses. It's I don't know. I just got hooked on it as a kid at St. Mary's, and I used to go over to the horse track as a 15 and 16-year-old with a couple of the older guys on our team at school at St. Mary's, and I really got hooked onto into horse racing, and I enjoy my time when I get over there, and I root and cheer for every horse that I bet on, and and I try to handicap it a little bit. And, it's a lot of fun on a Saturday sometimes when we don't have anything going on with soccer to run over there and to watch some horses and have a good time.
Well, what's harder, reading a racing form or Chinese arithmetic?
Well, Chinese arithmetic, I'm telling you, don't know much about it, but the racing form, I'm getting there. Wow. I know I can read it pretty good, but it's unreal the people that I see over at the track, though, that enjoy the horses. player from CBC, Pat Mann. I see Pat over at the racetrack.
Oh, no,
I saw Dave Hundelt and Dave Hummert over at the track the other day. We run in, Pat McBride would go over to the track. Our baseball coach and old from St. Mary's, Coach Pernicero, was a horse guy, and he was our baseball coach. And it's just, we always see somebody we know.
Yeah.
And it's great. The Andert brothers. I sit with the Andert brothers every Kentucky Derby over at the horse track.
Wow.
And Dave Berwin over at the horse track with his son Dave. It just goes on, and it's so much fun to go over and see these guys and see people that you don't see, and we're standing there up against the rail watching a horse race at Fairmount Park together.
Yeah, right.
It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you don't see him in church, you see him at the track.
No doubt. If I don't see him at Our Lady of the Pillow, Our Lady of the Pillar, I see him at the track. It's fun to see all those guys over there.
Yeah, man. Well, you're in the belly of the beast. You're right in the mix of everything. So you can't divulge what's going on. But we're in the home stretch. We got quarterfinals coming up next Saturday. The high school season is pretty compact, and a good thing for it now is once you get through your district tournament, with the boys and the girls, if you do and continue on, you get a week off, which, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, we play 2 games a week, 3 games a week, and now we got a week off. I relish having the week off. Oh, do you?
To get healthy. If we got some bumps and bruises, and we got a couple days off today, tomorrow, and Monday, let the kids recover a little bit. School just ended for the girls' soccer teams. They're out of school now, and they're all going to start. A lot of them are going to start working, and a lot of them are, the seniors that are going to continue on. They got a short summer because they start playing college soccer here in August.
Wow.
So they're going to finish their high school season, some of them in the next 2 weeks, and they'll have about 6 weeks off, and they're right back at it again at the collegiate level.
Right.
And quarterfinal Saturday is next weekend for high school sports for baseball and soccer. And we've got a really good baseball team over at Summit, and we've got a really good baseball team at Chaminade this year. And I hope they collide in the Class 5 semifinals, and they're both going down the tracks at the same time here, and we might meet up. And I say we because I'm part of Summit and I'm part of Chaminade, so it'd be really cool if they could match up on the baseball diamond in a couple weeks, But everything's next Saturday, and we'll have a week to prepare for whoever we play, and try to get as sharp as we can and get better at some of the things that we didn't do so good maybe the last 3 games, but we're still in it, and I think we feel lucky to have the opportunity that's in front of us, and hopefully we'll play well next week. And if we do, we got a shot. And if we don't, whoever we play's got a shot, So and going back again, that's the game,
Yeah.
Your players, if you need a break here and there, but you got to have special moments and special games. And quarterfinals a special game. You're one away from a Final Four down to Soccer Park, and hopefully somebody steps up and makes the good decision, makes the great weighted pass to somebody, makes a wonderful cross, and we got somebody to run onto it and finish it. And if you do that, hats off, and hopefully we keep moving on.
My memory isn't so good, never has been. How's that Army? What's the name of that Army with the Summit?
Oh, the 026 Army.
Yeah.
That Coach Kapler started a long time ago. That's our zip code, is Fenton zip code, and it's it just so happens that this year's 026, and our 026 Army's been wonderful for some of our soccer games, and they were awesome for the boys at Summit. I know they didn't get the outcome they wanted when they got to the Final Four, but our students really support everything that goes on at that school with all the sports. And there's the 026 Army, and they come out and really help us out and root for us and cheer for us. And I'm hoping that we can get a good crowd out there next Saturday.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a must see. Rockwood Summit to see that atmosphere. Just it's beyond. It's
Yeah, Coach Kapler did a great job with that, years and years and years ago before I got there, and because we played with Chaminade, we played Cap as much as we could or when we could each year. We tried to schedule them every year, and you'd go over there and you go, holy cow, and we got to deal with this. Well, now I'm part of that sometimes, because I'm over there with the girls, but it's pretty cool, and it's a rallying point for the school and not just in athletics, but in everything. And it's a very, very wonderful place to be. And the administration, the teachers, they love their kids, man, that are out there. And it's just a great environment for a high school. And I really have enjoyed my time there and hope to continue to enjoy my time there for many, many more years.
Yeah. And with the Chaminade, they accept diners cards.
Yeah, yes, Chaminade does. And in Chaminade, it's we're right around the corner with the boys. We're already setting up some things for the summer.
Wow.
Here and there with a game here and a game there, and then we'll have some times when we'll get together just to play. Which, boys, that a forgotten art. Just go out and play, right?
Yeah.
Get the goals out, get the players out, throw the balls out, put some pennies on, go play. Whoever shows up. I don't care if it's our Chaminade guys or SLU guys or Vianney guys or Summit guys you want to play. Here's where we're playing on Mondays and Wednesdays. Come on out.
Right.
And they just play. And it is fun. It's great for the kids to just play, and not to have a whole lot of coaching, if any at all, and to figure things out on their own and be around the game. The players can never be around the game enough. They just really can't. And the more touches they get on the ball and the more they're around games and watch games, it can only help them become a better player. And that's another thing that I'm really high on with the players is watch this game, watch that game, see what the midfielders are doing, see what the strikers doing, see how they're defending, and just watch, and put yourself as a center midfielder, watch this center midfielder, this left back, watch this left back from PSG, or watch this right back from Liverpool. And you can learn so much by just watching.
Oh, absolutely.
And I honestly don't think the kids do that very much. And that's a shame. Because, they're missing out on an opportunity to learn, and they're missing out on an opportunity to watch some of the best players in the world play, and just to see what they do. And that goes all the way back to what we talked about earlier, the opportunity to see Manny DiMaria play and to see what our definition of a top player is, one of the top in the whole country. That's what you want to see, and that's what you want to pattern yourself after. And you're not gonna get that gift, that Maddie got, or go back to Brad Davis got. They got a little gift, but it also came with a lot of hard work and sweat,
yes,
and a lot of juggling, and a lot of kicking the soccer ball with older brothers and older sisters. And but always around those kind of players were always around the game. They were looking for a game, Wales.
Yeah,
they wanted
man.
to be around the game. They're looking to play somewhere.
Yeah.
So and they were also became good players, from good players to great players to special players.
Yeah.
And that's what Maddie is, and a lot of other players that have come out of St. Louis. The special ones are fun to watch, and when you get a chance, you got to go watch them.
And we'd be remiss if I didn't mention JJTwiggs. That's where all the soccer people meet, and it's the best food that I know of. Very convenient, people friendly. You have great food. I've tried a lot of stuff on the menu, and there's not a bad item on the menu.
Well, thanks for that. It's hard to believe we'll be 20 years old here in December of this year, and a lot of long days and long nights, and a lot of sweat still goes into the restaurant. But it's hard to believe that we're going to be 20 years old. And
Wow,
we
baby.
started in December of '06, and we've been happy with the way things have gone, and we've had some tough times with COVID and food costs and everything else. But our customers, our regulars, still come in, and a lot of the soccer people come in, and they like our pizza and they like our food, and I appreciate that, and I hope they keep coming in.
Right on.
And we've created a nice little atmosphere and environment at the restaurant, and we've got some tremendous workers. I got a tremendous lady who manages for us, and my servers, my guys in the kitchen, all the way to the hostesses. We had a few Summit hostesses over the years.
Yes,
and a few salad girls from some of the different area high schools. And
Joe Morgan's daughter.
Joe Morgan's daughter, yeah, Kelly, not Kelly. Kelly lives in Washington. She's got 3 kids. She can't work for us.
All right, then.
But Emily worked for us for a long time. And, it's funny, though, because now I see these kids that worked for us back in the early, 2008, and 9, and 10. And now they're, they were 15 and 16 and 17 years old. My gosh, and now they're 34 with 2 children.
Right.
And 35 with a boy that's at Vianney. And, it's just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And, I still love the restaurant. I love going to the restaurant and talking to people and watching soccer and baseball and hockey and football. And it's a nice place. I think we've created a nice environment down there.
Yes, you have.
Kind of the same thing we try to do with soccer. We try to create a good environment for our teams and our players, and I try to do the same at the restaurant. And we're a team down there, just like we're a team over at Chaminade and a soccer team over at Summit. I got my pizza team at the restaurant, so it's all good, though. Everything's good, man.
Now, I know the one in the plaza, the one street is Doughtery Ferry. What's the other?
Crossroad we're at Big Bend and Doughtery Ferry.
Wow.
So we're technically Valley Park. It's crazy. We're technically Valley Park. Our zip code is 63122, which is Kirkwood. You pull out of our plaza and you make a left turn, and it says "Welcome to Kirkwood." It's just a little nook and cranny area where everything comes together.
Yeah.
And we get Parkway South kids, we get Valley Park kids, we get Westminster kids, we get Summit kids.
Yeah.
We get kids from everywhere that work, and maybe if you have a little soccer background, you might get to the front of the line a little bit quicker. But all of our kids that have worked for us, and some of the guys who have worked for us don't get mad, but the girls, the high school girls that work for us, and the college girls that work for us still make the best pizzas.
Yes, they do.
And, they do a good service for me and my wife, and they do a great service for our customers. And like I said, it's been 20 years, and it doesn't seem like 20 sometimes, but then other times it seems like it feels like 40, and it's usually when one thing goes wrong, a bunch of stuff goes wrong, but those are far and few between. And here we go. We're going to get through 20 years and maybe another 20.
There you go. All right, then. So what's custom here at Whale Certified is to be able to say, hey, Mike, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for. This is your time.
Yeah, no, it's just, as far as the soccer goes and how ingrained I am into the high school game, and I think all of our high school coaches do a fantastic service for their teams and their schools, and I know how much they love coaching these kids and enjoy the high school atmosphere and the environments of the high school game. And I know a lot of these kids play club soccer as well. And I just hope that we can all work this thing together, and because we're still in it for the betterment of the player, the development of the player, the development of the team. And I just appreciate all the friendships and all the great times that I've had over all these years with the high school coaches, boys and girls. And hopefully we can all stay at this for a long, long time.
Right on, Mike. Vader, I love talking to you, laughing with you. I like eating your pizza and watching your teams play. So what's
Well,
better?
I appreciate that, Wales, and
Yeah.
you know what? Next pizza's on me, brother.
Woo! You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, at Whale Certified. And you know, you too can be Whale Certified if you try. Thanks, Mike.
All right, Wales. Have a great holiday weekend, and I'll talk with you soon.
All right, then.